was going to talk about my issues with Be More Chill and why we seem to only be able to tell one high school story, but then I played The Sims 4 Discover University. I'm a longtime simmer and have extensively played both the Sims 2 and Sims 3 University packs. It's always been one of my favorites. It rounds out the Sims life cycle and it feels like a natural transition between the teen life stage and becoming a working parenting stiff. Providing new experiences, giving Sims a career boost so that they don't have to spend their entire adulthood climbing the corporate ladder, and adding a level of realism to the Sims' lives. So of course I was itching to get my hands on Discover University. Really itching for any additions to The Sims 4 because, as many have pointed out, the base game is quite lacking. And frankly, I'm finding Discover University to be bafflingly devoid of key features and rather frustrating given the Sims' University packs of the past. The first thing that put me off when sending my sim to college was that I didn't know what it would do to my current household or my household inventory. I'm a legacy player, meaning I play generations of one family, and through that I pick up a lot of useful career unlockables and items that you need to dedicate a Sim's life to obtaining. Before Discover University, there wasn't an easy way to move out a single sim from your household without losing all of your family funds and entire family inventory. You'd have to move out your whole family to the desired lot, then move the family you didn't want back into their old home that they just sold, which you need to repurchase on top of buying the place that the sim you want to play will be living in. So when I saw the move out screen, I was quite concerned. Yes, it now lets you decide how many funds you want your moved out sim to take with, but nowhere did I see anything about my family's inventory. I couldn't check this while attending university because you're not allowed to make major changes to your dorm. When I could check after graduation, I found that after moving my educated sim to a lot of their own, the family inventory was bare. None of the objects I slaved for generations to get were there. Thankfully, the family I left still had the items in their family inventory, so not a complete loss, but now I need to move my sim back in with the family, then move her out. Oh wait! Even then I can't take my sim's family inventory with me. So actually the old fix is what I still need to perform if I dare to move out a single sim and intend on playing with them in any meaningful way. I'm baffled as to why this exists because that's not how it was in The Sims 3. When a sim moved out, they took everything. So why can't that be the case here, especially with so many objects locked behind achievements that don't remain unlocked after the sim who met the requirement has died? Yes, you can cheat to get them, but part of my legacy play is trying to achieve my sim's dreams without them. No cheats is a fun challenge in its own. It's like no thought goes into these packs on what will be convenient for players, like knowing definitively how a sim is doing in their classes. When I emailed my sim's professors about her grades, I get back a vague blurb. No letter grade or completion bar like in previous games. Half of her university experience, I was left wondering if she was passing, and the final letter grade would seem random at the end of the semester because I couldn't meaningfully keep track of it. I know I've been out of school for a few years, but surely no academic institution runs this way. I remember 2015 we could check our grades and upcoming assignments online fairly easily. So why can't we here? Then on the other end of the realism spectrum, our sims now age as they attend university, as does the family they left behind and the world around them. I mean, yeah, it's like real life, but it ends up making me not want to send anyone away to college. You're just SOL if you want to micromanage your university sim at the same time as their family while having your university sim live in a dorm. Yes, you could have your sim attend school while living off campus, but half the appeal of college life is the dorms and campus life. Again, it didn't used to be this way. In previous packs, you can have a sim at university and return back to their family after graduation where they left off. You didn't have to choose between playing out the collegiate experience or finishing your remaining goals with another sim. Because that isn't the case here, I had to just focus on my university sim for her entire schooling, during which she aged up from a young adult to a fully grown adult. In previous games, university will halt your sim's aging until they graduated. In Sims 2, there was a young adult life stage that you lived in while in university, and you'd age up into a full adult after graduation. In Sims 3, you could go to college as a young adult, or even an elder sim, but you wouldn't age a day while you're away. That way, you wouldn't have to give up your sim's valuable lifespan to attaining a higher education. But in The Sims 4, every day you're attending university is another day your sim ages. Yes, realistically, we get older even while going to college, but it doesn't take an entire life stage for us. We still have some young adulthood left even after getting a bachelor's degree. My sim went from young adult to full adult in her time as a university student. That means less time for her to build a career, family, and social life before she becomes an elder. And you're even more screwed if you take your time getting a degree. The fewer classes towards your degree you take, the longer you'll be in university. This suggests that to get your sim a post-secondary education while having the most time to live out their adult life, you need to focus solely on the academic portion of their schooling and cutting yourself off from the campus events, social groups, skill classes, and other classic collegiate activities, otherwise you're begging for poor marks. You can technically extend your sim's lives in the options menu, but you can't individually alter the lengths of the life stages like you could in The Sims 3. So if you want ample time to get a degree and live life to the fullest, building a family and a career, I hope you love playing as a toddler for a few more days. And yeah, I know you can age up a sim whenever, but I like having a structured system that tells me when it's time to move into the next stage. It reflects reality, like how going from 17 to 18 in the United States brings a ton of changes in responsibility and greatly alters how the law views you. The game determining when birthdays are also makes sure that I don't age up my sims prematurely and throw off how young or old they're supposed to be in relation to their family members. So because of this one change, I'm left having to decide if sending my future sims to college is even worth it, knowing that I'll limit how much time I can spend with them afterwards unless I make them into an immortal vampire or something. Oh, and don't get me started on the bicycles. The thing we were all excited to get back is more of a pain than anything. Your sim might sometimes ride them indoors. The Go Here menu is cluttered by new options to either walk here or bike here, whereas in The Sims 3 you could just automatically choose to bike when you leave your house and walk when indoors. And there's a chance you might lose your bike! See, for instance, your Sims' action queue gets interrupted for seemingly no reason, as they tend to do in The Sims 4. If your sim was on their bike, there's a chance they'll get off of it and continue to do their next action without putting the bike back in their inventory. This leads to your sim misplacing their bike, and you won't notice it's gone until you see your sim just casually walking around campus. Hopefully you have an idea of where they left it, or 150 simoleons to cough up for a new one. Frankly, I ended up selling my sim's bike just to get rid of the headache. I think this is the worst pack that I've ever played for the sheer fact that it's the first one that has caused me legit rage. All of my moodlets were red by the time I had my sim graduate, which should never be the case when playing a game that's supposed to be fun. It wasn't the kind of rage like the game is too hard or I don't have the skills for it. It's the raging frustration of having experienced better in the past. Wanting an expansion that maybe not live up to, but at least remind me of why I like The Sims 4. Instead, it just reminded me of all The Sims 4's flaws that have just been festering in the back of my mind for a long time. Why is it that if you don't regularly interact with Sims, they can just disappear from your social relationships menu? Many a time I'll have my child or teen Sim interact with their relative at parties, only for them to have forgotten their existence by adulthood. Not be made acquaintances, they just aren't aware of their relative's existence. Why can't I invite a whole household to my lot like I could in The Sims 3? Why do I have to just invite the individual that my sim personally knows? Again, as a legacy player, I have a great extended family. Sometimes I make sims pregnant and move them out so that they can build a family of their own while playing as their sibling. But I'll never get to meet the new addition unless I go to their house and hope they're home. Whereas before, I could just invite the household over so that the sim could bring their kid and introduce them to the family. Hell, I don't get to meet my townie's fiance's family unless I do the same thing because I can't invite people that the one sim arranging the event doesn't know, even if their fiance or other family members in attendance knows them. I better just dedicate one sim to knowing every other sim I care about and maintaining their relationships in order to do anything social with them. Why does having my sims make friends in school or socialize at work lower their school and work performance? Why do I have to choose between my sims succeeding and them meeting new sims? Many a time I had my sim not get a grade higher than a B, even while doing every homework and project assigned to them just because they made friends in school. Remember when your teenage sim could randomly start developing a romantic relationship with a townie at prom? Remember prom? Remember when each career had a different set of pop-up decisions directly related to your sim's job? Remember when we had a ton of traits and aspirations to play with to make our sims different from one another? Why does my sim have to be at the restaurant every time it's open in order for it not to fail miserably? Yes, The Sims 4 has brought a lot of things we've been asking for years, like careers you follow your sims to, and less gender restriction regarding what your sims can wear. It brought a lot of things that I didn't know I wanted, like clubs and dedicated social events, and more fleshed out spellcasting and vampiric perks trees. But at its base, The Sims 4 is still flawed. Every pack is a shallow reminder of better ones before it. The same concepts we've seen in previous Sims games with fewer features for basically the same price. Hell, even a lot of the new Sims 4 exclusive features don't work properly or aren't thought out. Even though my sim got a resolution passed that the electricity would be cut off worldwide between midnight and 6 AM, it only works sometimes. And without power, you're supposed to still be able to use items that don't require it. So why can't I use my sim's wood-burning stove? It's little things like these that build up and boil over in my mind as I play. And what's even worse is that I loved sending my sim to university. It was a welcome change for my sim to actually gain skill points in their field of study while taking classes. Hell, like with real college, she learned about things that she wouldn't need in her future career. This time around, university wasn't just a mean to get a jump start in whatever career I pick for my sims afterwards. They learned valuable skills that will likely tie into their job and others that just round out the sims as sims. While my sim is firmly more of a physical media artist, she learned a lot about the violin and dancing from her coursework. And that's not even getting into the skill classes you can sit in on now. But again, I'm stuck weighing how much that's worth to me. Do I want to sacrifice an entire life state and my sim's family story just for a few more skill points? I had fun, but I can't justify sending another sim to college after all of the troubles I endured to do it the first time around. Sims 4 University has made me want to return to previous games more than play it. It's made me wonder if its features are worth giving up so much just to use them. Yeah, college IRL is a sacrifice, but this isn't supposed to be IRL. This is a simulation. A game should make me want to play it, not repulse me or drive me towards previous versions. Making this one short because talking for such a long time is giving me a headache and hurting my throat. If this is the first video of mine you've ever watched, hello! I make a wide variety of content, so please like, subscribe, do the YouTube things. But don't trust YouTube to actually tell you when I make new things. Instead, check out this content stream of the things that I and my friends create on my Discord server. You can also chat with me in my NotAVampyre group channel, or you can find me on Twitter at NotAVampyre. Thank you very much for consuming this video, and until next time.